Happy Friday, happy Friday. I am Chris, your favorite information scientist in training and your favorite librarian. Out here in these academic streets, stratosphere, weekly update. It's been a good week, a decent week for me. I went to meetings for, work and stuff, and then I'm still been working on my dissertation proposal, the revisions and fleshing out the methods section. So I did some writing prompts today, and I definitely did some yeah, most of yesterday. I'm gonna continue working on it a little bit on Saturday, not a lot, but a little bit, because one of the things that my committee was telling me about was to look at the literature review and like make it a jigsaw puzzle. This is their analogy, not mine. But basically they were like, take the literature review and, like print out a copy of it and cut each paragraph, cut the paragraphs like in between the lines and make it like organizing it in a to see what goes where. And am I talking about something further down that I can move up? So that is what they told me to do. And so that's what I'm planning to do on Saturday. That's really the only task that I have for Saturday. And so I'm estimating that that's probably about an hour and a half worth of work because I already printed out the copies. I have scissors at home, and we'll see what happens from that. And do I think I'm going to make my deadline on the 8th? Absolutely. Absolutely. I've been working on that too. And I'm confident that I'm going to be able to tell them how I plan to do these interviews and the ethics and limits of that. So, challenges and obstacles that I face, trusting yourself that your voice is enough. I found sometimes I'm always trying to go get somebody else's voice and then getting frustrated that they can't speak it the way that I speak it. And of course they can't because they're not me. Or we're not necessarily even talking about the same thing or even in the same way. So it's like battling that. And then, focusing on really for the revision, like revision work, really giving them examples, but not necessarily going all out and creating more work for myself. So trying to stick to just what they said. Because the way your brain works. I love how Dr. Lacey and Qual Scholars gives this example. I'm laughing because I've already heard the example about how she gives this example in Qual Scholars where she says, your mom says if you clean your room and she gives you a task of 4 things to do, you can go to Disney World. But instead of focusing on the 4 things, you add a whole bunch of other stuff and you still don't get to go to Disney World. And so that's how I view revision comments because he said, one of the committees, he said, add, this person's work on this topic. I read 3, 4 articles and then I had like 2 to 3 paragraphs. And I went back and was like, I think that's more than what he said. Like I could just, edit it and fix it and make it literally answering his question. Don't do more. Don't develop a new theory. Don't tell my brain. Also, the fact that when writing, it's the uncertainty because you don't have your committee to tell you, yes, this explains that, or that's good, or that's right, because they can't give you validation. It's for parking. So when I'm nervous and uncertain, I also am hungry. It doesn't have anything to do with hunger in the sense of food. It's hunger in sense for someone to say, this is right, or this is good, or this is you answer my question. But you can't necessarily get the immediacy of that because I don't turn this in until the 8th. I don't meet with them until probably sometime later in the week. And in this work, there isn't necessarily you did good. I mean, good in terms of progress, but you're writing for comments. You're just writing to continue fleshing it out because this is the plan for your dissertation. You've not done it yet. So this is not at all like what it's like to, well, at least some parts of it are not at all like write an article. It is, but it's an expanded article using methods, using even topics that I don't have any librarianship experiences with because this is not, it's like learning to talk to a totally different audience and using words that they're familiar with within your own voice, not theirs. So it's that. And that has been an interesting and scary experience. So as I'm using these videos as my diary, my experiences as a doctoral student. It was great today to go to support a fellow school scholar who's doing a job talk. It was great to know other faculty were in the information science were in the room too and were very helpful. It makes you feel supported, or for a person that isn't there yet, in terms of I'm not a candidate yet. It's like hopeful because it's like, okay, there are people that help you, you know, because what I've learned most, and I'll never forget it, it was a talk I went to, and the faculty member said that institutions are going to institution. And while it's true that there are individuals within an institution who are caring and supportive and helpful, the institution as a whole, it is business. So, let's not conflate the two, is what she was saying. But just because you're making the statement that institutions are going to institution or institution is business does not necessarily mean that you won't be able to find people within that same institution that care, that show compassion, that show insight and wisdom and help and support in the ways that you need it. So seeing that for the fellow school person showed me, that principle in actual real time. And the fact that I knew that they were, gonna continue to help her with it for her upcoming presentation was very, very, very helpful and supporting to know, because you need to see that at all the different stages, because without that you don't know that they even do that, or that type of help is available, so. And I'm not saying it doesn't mean that I don't think my advisor would do it. I'm just saying I've learned that you literally create a village of support, a varied level of community to get different things from different people. So that's that's a learning lesson in this journey. Supposed to go out to this social event this evening just to hang out. It's just why I'm still here at work, because if I don't stay here until it's almost time to go, I will go home. Not because I don't want to go, but just because that's what I do. Because I literally had this plan that maybe I go to the drugstore and get some things, but I was like, it's too tempting because the bus that comes toward the drugstore is a direct bus, to my house. I was like, don't tempt yourself. Don't do it. The good thing is that bus is available all weekend long. So yeah, I might do it on Sunday. I was like, on Sunday, because I noticed that it wasn't gonna rain on Sunday. I was like, you might could go out on Sunday. Because I know tomorrow, like I said, I was gonna work on my writing and doing some cleaning. I want to mop the floors in the house. So, and just lounge around because what's that show? The Diplomat. I watched that. Is back on and I want to watch it. Also, The Lincoln Lawyer. I've not watched the new episodes of that. And I've also not watched, there's a lot of different little shows on streaming apps that I've not sat and watched. And I found that that's very fulfilling for me after I've sat and done, reading work or writing work, because of the level of thought and just the decompression that I feel I need. Television shows, streaming shows, reading fun books or listening to fun books, listening to music, smoking cigars is how, or cooking something is how I decompress. But even with cooking, I started taking this weight loss drug and I'm on my second iteration of that. And for me, it makes certain foods that I love or things that I like to drink, like the zero sugar drinks, some of them taste funny now. I don't know what that is. Like I love zero sugar tea. I was, having some this morning because I was taking, my, vitamins and blood pressure medication, and it just tasted off. It wasn't the glass. It wasn't anything. And I was like, I don't know. And that's the same way about that experience has happened to me in terms of pancakes. I love a good Sunday or Saturday pancake. My Wiley's blueberry pancakes are amazing. And I use the exact same pancake mix. I didn't have blueberries, but I just made just regular pancakes. And it just, I used the zero sugar syrup. It didn't give what it's given in the past. So I was like, well, and then also like zero sugar, not zero sugar, but carb friendly bread. I used to love Auntie Anne's or Aunt Annie's, the honey wheat or the white. It tastes like it just tastes like trash. It doesn't matter if I make it like skillet toast or when I eat it on a sandwich, you just know that you don't have real bread. You got bread, it's the bread, it's artificial bread. I mean, it's physically present, but the taste of it is not giving uh, what you think it's gonna give. And then when I was reading, I got as part of this weight loss experience and program, the my health provider is connected to another service that you use so you can get these weight loss uh, shots and injections and drug in itself. So I noticed that the health plan that they have you on is keto. Or the only thing that is different is the number of carbs. I want to say they said it's like 30 grams of carbs. And I was like, keto was like you a maximum of 20 carbs. So I was like, well, I'll I don't have a problem with that. I know I have like I got two oranges. I know you can't really eat oranges, but I just had a taste for them. So I'm not gonna beat myself up about two oranges that are still at my home. I've also done good with only having one thing of potato chips, which I really didn't have that because getting them halfway back to my office, I dropped the bag on the floor. So no chips. I wondered out loud, and I'm laughing because I wondered out loud when I dropped the chips. I'm like, was that the Lord's way of saying you don't need that? I'm not saying he does, God does that, but I'm like, was that a sign? Or was that just I was clumsy? Anyway, but certain things just don't taste the way that they used to. Like I said, pancakes and certainly I also got to go back to my zero sugar syrup because I didn't see one that I wanted at I think I was at Ruler. So I ended up just getting the caramel one. So I'm like, yeah, you got to go back to the zero sugar creamers. And when I was at Walmart, I didn't go all the way back. I didn't go all the way back to the cold case. I didn't go as I think I was over there looking at the meats, and then I really wasn't getting any meats. And I was really just I really was at the Walmart at Walmart. I was gonna go to the Walmart, but at Walmart because I was getting my medication And it had taken them so long to actually go through the whole approval process. That's why I was there. And then I was also under a time constraint because I had a 3:30 meeting. And so I was like, yeah, and I literally didn't get there until maybe 2:30, close to 2:30. So I didn't go and get the creamer because when I got home, I was like, creamer was on my list. But it's so far out and on the weekend, I don't try to, it'll take too many buses to get out that way on the weekend. I don't, it's not worth it for me. So that's all I have for sharing. I hope that whatever it is that you're doing and that your weekend and that you, dearest, gentle listeners, are doing great and that you're taking care of yourself and you're being the best you that you can be. Peace.